Alright, today I want to talk about the future tense. There are two future tenses that we have talked about in the past in Spanish class. We've talked about what I call the immediate future. It's an action that's going to happen in the future very soon. And then there is the regular future tense. So we'll look at both of them here real quick. Let's look at the immediate future first. Okay? So we've studied the immediate future a lot in the past, earlier this year. And here's how you form the immediate future. The immediate future is you have to use the verb ir, and the verb ir means to go. And we do this in English as well because we say that I'm going to do something. Okay, so the immediate future tense is formed using this verb ir. So let's look at the chart to conjugate the verb ir first so we know how to do it. We have voy, vas, va, vamos, vais, and van. These are our 6 forms of the verb ir because we have to say ir or go because we're going to say that we're going to do something. Alright, so let's look at an example sentence. I am going to eat cake. Okay, I'm going to eat cake is our English sentence. So let's translate it to Spanish using this immediate future tense. So here's how you would do that. First you're going to say, I'm going to. So you're going to use the yo form, the I form of the verb ir, of the verb go. So what is the yo form? Right here it is. Voy. So we're going to say voy. And then we got to say that we're going to eat something. So we're going to use the word a, and a means to or at. So here I'm going to, and then we're going to use the verb eat. And we're going to use the form of the verb eat that is in its most simple form. The most simple form of a verb is its infinitive. So to eat is comer. Voy a comer. And then the rest of our sentence is cake, which is un pastel. So here's our example sentence. We have, I'm going to eat cake. Voy a comer un pastel. So if you're a mathematical person, you may benefit by knowing that there's sort of a formula. You can use a form of the verb ir plus the word a, which is to, going to, and then plus the infinitive. Like, for example, hablar. Okay? So, ir plus a plus an infinitive, like the verb hablar or comer or escuchar, for example. So this is how we would form the immediate future tense, which is in English, I'm going to do something. Well, there's another future tense, the regular old simple future tense, and that uses endings. So let me erase this here and we'll talk about the simple future tense. Okay, let's talk about the regular simple future. Okay, the regular simple future tense says, it talks about what you will or shall do in the future to come. So it has a set of endings that you add to the verb, and here are the endings that you use. A, that's the letter E with an accent. As, hemos, eis, an. And notice that they all have accent marks. They all have accent marks. As, hemos, eis, and an. So let's take an example verb and we're going to apply these endings to it. So what we're going to do here is since we're talking about the future tense, we're going to add them to the infinitive. Now, when you guys have studied the present tense or the past tense before, and we always took off the AR, ER, or IR ending, and then we added these endings here. But since we're talking about the future, that's kind of adding to the verb. So we're going to add to the verb, add the endings. So for example, if our verb was hablar, to speak, then we would do our chart and we would add the endings to the end of the infinitive. So the yo form would be hablaré. Alright, so if this is the future tense we're talking about, in English, how do we express the future tense? We say will or shall. I will speak. So the yo form, the I form, is going to be hablaré, and that would mean I will speak. Hablarás. Hablará. Hablaremos. Hablaréis. Hablarán. Okay, so once again, do remember that the future tense has accent marks on just about all of them except for the the nosotros form right here. Hablaremos doesn't have an accent. So hablaré, hablarás, hablará, hablaremos, hablaréis, hablarán. Let's repeat it again. Hablaré, hablarás, hablará, hablaremos, hablaréis, and hablarán. So remember that this is the future tense. So hablaré would be I will speak. Hablarás, you will speak. Hablará, he or she or usted will speak. Hablaremos, we will speak. Hablaréis is the vosotros form that we said was only used in Spain, and it means you all. So hablaréis would be you all speak. Hablarán, they will speak. And it could also be ustedes, you all. So it could be you all will speak. Alright, so this is how you conjugate the regular simple future tense, and there are some irregular forms in the future tense that we will talk about later in a different video. But this right here is basically how you form the verbs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you one example sentence of that using this simple future tense. So for example, you could say, I will eat cake. Same sentence we used when we did the immediate future. Well, we'll do this in the simple future tense. I will eat, so the verb to eat is comer. And we need the yo form, so we're going to add the ending e with an accent, comeré, and then we'll say a cake, un pastel. Alright, so let's make this a capital letter since it's beginning our sentence. Comeré un pastel. I will eat a cake. And one important thing to note that I did not mention earlier is that one of the good things about the future tense is both both AR, ER, and IR verbs all take the same endings, which are as, amos, ace, and on. Right, so the endings are the same for all different families or types of verbs in Spanish, AR, ER, and IR. Alright, so I hope that this has helped you to understand the immediate future tense and the simple future tense.